Good morning, Facebook, YouTube.
Oh. Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the best you. Speak the best, you the best version you can be. Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic. Move for your soul with Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Jackie
And Coach Patrick.
And you're welcome to Health Matters here on WAAW Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth.
This is the day the Lord has made, y'all.
And we're going to choose to rejoice and be glad in it.
Yes, sir. I love the Lord. He is my strength. He is my protector. He is my security. I can go on and on and on.
Amen.
And that's why, I can say this is the day that he's made, because he got me up another day just to, be able to praise him and work with him and co-labor with him.
Co-labor.
Yeah.
That's good. Co-labor. We all work with you.
So that his will is done on this earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah. That it may be established.
That's right.
Yeah. Through us, willing vessels.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you guys, we're in a new month. We're in the month of March.
Yes.
Can y'all believe we're in the third month
Already.
of 2026?
Already.
It's time, we're in the third month. So just take a moment and reflect.
That's right.
What different, what something different that you have done. Remember we started off in January talking about setting goals and being intentional. What are some of those goals? Go back and reflect, on those goals. Have you succeeding in pursuing those goals, or how far you are along in those goals?
Right.
Because sometimes we can get stagnated.
And don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't be part of that statistic that says that after the first 3 months of the year, everybody fall off of their plan to do better in whatever area you're trying to do better. Don't give up. Stay motivated. Revisit your desire, your why that we talked about earlier, and continue to be motivated to do what you said you're going to do this year.
And you can, and you have the choice to go back and change that why.
That's
or
right.
add to
Modify.
it. Take away, add to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know what have changed before since January. So just go back and revisit it, reflect back on that, and making sure you're just still moving forward. Because sometimes a setback is a setup, So just sit back and just think about, okay, what did I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Am I still in that process of doing that? Because it is a process. A journey is a process.
That's right.
Change is a process.
That's
Transformation is a process. So ask yourself, how far am I alone in that journey?
Right. And then just
in
get
that
back
process,
on that path.
and just get right back
Stay
on the
on that
path. Because sometimes we look at the bigger picture and we're not looking at the middle. Everything's in that middle and the process of growing into that goal.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So this morning we're going to be talking about good nutrition. Good nutrition does matter. So this is Nutrition Month, National Nutrition Month, the month of March. So we're going to talk about nutrition on this morning. Want to acknowledge our sponsors, our partners and friend, Aiken Chiropractic, Dr. Dan. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest, Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191, and their website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. And nobody turned down Mr. Keith Richardson to get a free Medicare checkup and make sure you're in the right Medicare plan. You can call Keith at 803-281-6600. That is 803-281-6600. And that email is keith@nobodyturneddown.com. His website is www.nobodyturneddown.com. And Centerwell Senior Primary Care, they're helping seniors live healthier and happier lives. They're located at 3435 Riceboro Road right here in Augusta, Georgia. 706 is their number, 706-841-9719, and their website is www.centerwell.com. And Graham's Vehicle Detailing, where affordable mobile detailing with professional results. I tell you, they give you the best results, showroom ready after they detail your car, your camper, your van, whatever. They do it all. Their number is 706-830-4982, and their website is www.gramsgvd.com. If you would like to be a sponsor, partner, or friend of this broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. Now, the station holds many packages in which, if you're an entrepreneur, you have a business and you want your business, you want to make that investment for your business to be acknowledged throughout the week. The station has many packages that can help you do that. You can call 803-649-6405 to talk to a sales rep to help you identify a package that works for you. And remember, it's an investment in your business. We have a large footprint here at WAAW, so the word about your business will get out. Jack, as you said, it is March, a brand new month, the third month of the year.
Yes, it is. And we have some birthdays.
And
the very, very first birthday is our grandson, our first born grandson, Jeremiah, aka Jay.
9 years old.
J-Man will be 9 years old. Wow. And he reminds us every single day. And I said, Jay, we
make
got
your request be made now.
It's on the calendar. And and if we can just be just as consistent with our father, as our children and grandkids with us. But he reminds me and Papa
with expectation
every day. It's his birthday. He already made his request known, where he wants to go, where he wants to eat.
That's right.
And this is what he wants.
And he expects it.
And he expects.
And also, happy birthday to our goddaughter, Miss Sarah Bunyan. They're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Yeah, so happy birthday, Sarah. If you're out there listening or somehow come across this broadcast, happy birthday. Happy anniversary to everyone that's celebrating anniversaries in this great month of March. Keep building, keep making families stronger, and keep becoming one. Keep becoming one. That's what it's all about. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to all of the March babies in this great month of March.
And guys, you know that March is National Nutrition Month.
Yes, it is.
You have other things, I think, colorectal awareness, but been included into that. But March is designated one of the main, National Nutrition Month is one of the main highlights for the month of March. And so we're going to be talking about some subjects concerning your health and good nutrition. And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning, because it does matter. You matter, your health matters, and good nutrition matters. Okay, guys, we know what that tune is. We got to get used to it. That is Health Matters Happening. That's when Coach Patrick take a moment and bring you relevant information that pertains to your health and well-being.
That's right. And this morning, we just want to talk about that measles outbreak that is going on, especially when people are getting ready to get on the road and travel during the summer and spring break. You're probably going to be around a lot of people. Just know that the CDC has alerted people that there is an outbreak of measles in some states. I know that Texas and New Mexico have some high numbers, so be mindful of that. But there are some other numbers. I think even South Carolina had a few numbers that they said on the news about measles. But just want to give you a little information about what it looks like so that you can be careful and protect yourself while you're out there. Measles is a highly contagious viral illness that typically begins with fever, cough, runny nose, and conjunctivitis, the pink eye. It lasts about 2 to 4 days prior to the rash onset. Measles can cause severe health complications, including pneumonia, encephalitis, inflammation of the brain, and death. The virus is transmitted by direct contact with infectious droplets or by airborne spread when an infected person breathes, coughs, or sneezes. Measles virus can remain infectious in the air and on surfaces for up to 2 hours after an infected person leaves the area. Infected people are contagious from 4 days before the rash starts through 4 days afterward. The incubation period for measles from exposure to fever is usually about 7 to 10 days, and from exposure to rash onset is usually about 10 to 14 days. So just be mindful of that. Know it when you see it. Be aware if especially if you're traveling to another area. Just go to the CDC.gov website and see if there has been a big outbreak of measles, just so you're aware and you can do the things necessary to protect yourself. This has been your Health Matters Happenings.
All right, guys. And now we're going to take a moment, guys, to pray, for what's going on in the Middle
Most
East.
definitely. Yeah.
We have church family, friends, and family that is over there that is trying to get out. And we believe in God that they are getting out, that they're safe. And pray for all of the families, those that have lost. We have lost some soldiers during this time. And so we just want to lift up family. We want to lift up this situation that is going on. Pray for our president, God. Pray for um, godly counseling. Pray for our administration.
Right.
We have to still pray. We have to still pray for our local government,
Right.
our state government.
Right. The word tells us to pray for
We
our
have
leaders.
to pray for our leaders.
Whether we put them in the office or not, we should have to pray
Right.
for them, and we have to pray that the people around him have the confidence and the boldness to uh, give him the correct input so that he can make better decisions or the best decision as it pertains, for us living a godly and peaceable life. Yeah.
And we may not agree with everything, but we still have to do what the Word of God says to do. It is to pray.
Right.
And that's what we want to do. So we want to lift those up and continue to pray that all these people get home safely,
Most definitely,
unharmed.
Yes. All right, Jack. So let's jump into this.
Good.
What about your wellness tip?
No, we're gonna go over that's what we're gonna do.
We'll spray your wellness tip.
No, guys, we're gonna talk about our wellness tip. So I was kind of wanted to do it at the end, but that's all right. We can kind of talk about that now. That's fine. Of course, y'all know we're talking about good nutrition matters, and today good nutrition does matter, and it's not as easy today to maintain that, but we have to do what we can do. When we know better, we do better and do the best that we can with what we have, and that's it. And the first thing we want to prioritize, making sure we prioritize whole food, because that of course they have flipped the pyramid. I kind of say that it's back to the basics, focusing more on whole foods, grains and vegetables, less limited, avoid added sugars. So prioritize that, focusing more on the nutrient dense foods in your daily eating. Vegetables and fruits. Aim for your color vegetables and different types of vegetables, the ones that you like. Just if you don't eat vegetables, add one a day. Just make that a goal to just add one a day until you get used to eating them, the ones that you like. Smart carbs, choosing, complex carbs over more of the simple carbs. Even though fruits are simple carbs, but they have more phytochemicals in it, which is more healthier. But we're talking about cookies, cakes, the pastries and candies, those things.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Tastes good stuff.
They taste good for a reason, because what's in them. Your lean quality protein. Make sure you're getting that. As we age, we want to preserve bone density. So we want to make sure we're getting good quality protein in our diet, which include not only just meat, fish, and poultries, and beans and lentils and legumes, all those different things. Your salmons, your omega-3s, and all those different those things. So healthy fats, the unsaturated fats, your olive oils, those things. Some people use avocado. I know we eat avocado at least 3 days a week. Your nuts, make sure the low sodium, no sodium raw nuts, that you can eat with your healthy fats. Limit, avoid, or do without sodium. We do need some sodium because it is a necessary nutrient, but we have to know the amount of what we eat in. That's gonna require you to look at your food labels and see how much sodium is in a single package of servings. Okay, stay hydrated. Make sure you're staying hydrated. We're getting warm. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, adding fruits and lemons to your water to add a little bit of more electrolytes to that. But just staying hydrated. Avoid the sugary drinks. Avoid drinking your calories. So that has been Health Matters wellness tip for the month of March.
All right, all right. So we're going to get into a lot of things that we're going to talk about this morning, Jackie. You kind of hit them in your tips, but
Right.
we'll dive into it a little bit more. Now, we love hearing your views. We love hearing your opinions on everything that we talk about. You may have something to say that we don't say that people need to hear. So feel free to call in at 803-226-0041 or 803-226-0043. We love hearing your opinion. So we're talking about good nutrition. Good nutrition, as Jackie said, is very important. It matters. It provides energy, just for our daily things that we do on a daily basis. And that energy is the foods that we eat, is what give us the energy to our body, and it affects how we feel throughout the entire day. I mean, you can eat some things and it'll have you feeling some kind of way sometimes. That's why you have to make sure you pay attention, to what you're eating, because some of the things that are recommended to eat as it pertains to good nutrition, I'll just say, I think like wheat bread or something that could cause you to be bloated or something, like some people,
Or some people can have allergies.
so it's good to pay
Yes.
attention to your body. Yeah,
And,
it
and know
affects it.
that, yeah, everybody dies is different.
Hmm.
Everybody nutrition need is different. It tailors to them.
Right.
And sometimes things are trial and error.
Hmm.
When we're eating something and we may, okay, hey, I have an allergy
Right.
to grains.
Right.
You don't know.
Right.
Some people may be gluten tolerant, not
Hmm.
tolerant. So you have to be careful. So that's a trial and error. That's that relationship between you and your healthcare
That's right.
provider.
That relationship.
It's the most important thing is having a good relationship with food.
Most
So I'm
definitely.
saying
Yeah.
we're not getting no sounds so on there. So we're having a good relationship with food. And what do I mean about that? The first thing is, you're being in control of what you're eating. And what you're eating. You're not letting food control you. You're balancing out what you're eating. So those just having a good relationship with food, how much you're eating, when you're eating, how often, you know, that you're eating certain foods. So, like I said, some things we just have to limit or
Most
avoid,
definitely.
in our diet. And we in a world today where we really have to watch everything
Yeah.
we're eating,
Yeah.
even some of the good things. Let's be real.
Oh
We
yeah.
can be
Most definitely.
transparent,
Hmm.
because of chemicals
Right.
and because of how things are grown. And now that we have limited resources of getting good food, good
Hmm.
nutrition. So, some people have to grow their foods
Right.
more now because we even seen a documentary they talking about how farmers are having a lot of problems right now.
No,
You know,
well, and you mentioned some things about, the processing of foods. It is, if you can, to grow your own food.
yeah,
That way
if you can.
you know what you're growing. You know how you grew it. If you put any pesticides on there to prevent it from, being eaten by insects, or if you put any type of growth enhancement in there. You know this, so you know what you did, and you want to try to avoid those things. And then if you can't do that, try to shop local. Use your farmers. The farmers markets, I think, are opening back up this weekend. I know Columbia
Yes,
County is
Columbia
opening
County.
back up.
Yeah.
So you use your local farmers market, because you want to get your food as less processed as you can. The
Yeah.
closer you can get it from coming out of the ground to your table, the better and more nutrients will be in it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And a lot of people talk about, we're not getting the nutrients that we need in the food today because they're not being grown, organically or,
Mm-hmm.
but so that's when, people, because you're hearing a lot about supplementing now
Mm-hmm.
today, supplements are required. That means the word supplement mean I'm supplementing something that I'm no longer getting or I can't get or I'm choosing to get this supplement because
And you're not getting
this
it all
way,
out of your
and
food.
I'm not getting, say if I don't eat vegetables, so I'm going to supplement something else. So that's what supplements mean. So we have to be careful that we're not over supplementing. So, and making sure, like I said, that's that relationship between you and your healthcare provider, and you knowing what your ranges are, your blood ranges are, and what type of where your health is, where your health stands
Right.
at, because you can over supplement
Most definitely.
on things. So you want to be very careful with that because we don't know people underlying issues,
Mm-hmm.
because if one thing worked for someone, that doesn't mean it will work
Right.
for me.
All right, that's a good point you make
Yeah.
about supplements, and and it's needed. It's part of your regimen, then
Right.
but just make sure you do it right. By eating a healthy diet full of nutrients, our energy levels remains constant throughout the day, and the results is you're feeling better, you're more alert, and you're more energized when we're getting good nutrition into our bodies. Foods that are high in sugar and fats can really hurt our energy level, and it really does. It may give you a spike, temporarily, but it's gonna bring you back down. The top offenders, like Jackie said, of sugars and fat is processed foods. And not only today do we have to just worry about processed food, but we got to worry
What
about
about
ultra, processed food and chemicals, of
chemicals
course.
in food? That's why you got to. I'm
Right.
sorry about that. That's why you got to read your food labels, and you got to do your homework. You got to self-educate yourself today.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, you got to pray over everything.
Most definitely.
You really got to pray over your food today.
Yeah.
Pray over your food, and God to do the rest.
Most
But we have to do our natural part. And Coach and I always say it's our responsibility, but it's God's ability.
Most definitely.
And so, but when we're doing our best, He'll come in and do the rest.
Most definitely.
And so that rhymed, didn't it, Coach?
Yeah, like you say, I mean, we say it all the time. We do the natural, we do the
Right.
super, we have a supernatural result.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Coach, because I wanted to throw some in here, but you can go ahead if you got some.
no, you go ahead.
Okay. So I want to kind of throw some in here because sometimes, we're not shopping local, and I don't know if a lot of people pay attention to the little sticky labels that be on the fruits and the vegetables, and they call the PLU code breakdown. And so these are the digits, and they're there for a reason. People don't realize they are there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They put them there for a reason, and so many people don't know why. So we want our listening audience to know that. So when you're going in the store, make this an experience when you go shopping.
Now you're talking about those numbers that be on the stickers
Yes,
on those
yes,
fruits and vegetables. Okay.
yes. And Kate, so 4 digits starting with 3 or 4. They are conventional grown using standard agriculture methods. Okay, that means they conventionally grown. Okay, the 5 digits starting with 9, they're organically grown without synthetic fertilizer or pesticides.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay,
that's good.
That's the 5 digits starting with 9.
Starting with 9.
Yes. 5 digits starting with 8, they're genetically modified organisms. GMO. Number 5 digits starting with 8.
Hate 8.
They are genetic modified organism.
Okay.
That's how they're grown. Okay. The purpose of these codes is to help you as consumers and retailers to identify produce for inventory and pricing it for you, because they're going to, the price matter and the quality matters. So make sure you are looking at those numbers on there. I know sometimes we just go in the store and we get what we need.
Best price.
We get what we need
and the best price.
And the best price. Right. Okay. But do what you have to do to eat and feed your family. You have to, and like I say, pray over your food.
Mhm.
God sees all, He knows all.
And this is about awareness, so that
And
you know, you know,
this is just basic
right,
awareness,
so
so
you can
that
make better
you know this,
choices.
that if you able to
Hmm.
make better choices, make them. That's why we said as much as possible, shop from closest to the ground as possible. That means
Whole
you
foods
would get less pesticides, and
and
that's the
process.
conventional grown,
Right.
things.
So those numbers mean something, and
Yeah, they
and
mean
it's
something.
it's important that you at least know what they mean. Now,
Yeah,
based on your pocket, you have to do what you have to do, like Jackie said.
yeah.
But that's why it's important to also pray over your food.
And one more, we talk about the appeal. The appeal is another chemical. If you go in the store, you have a glossy kind of a thing on your
Waxy coating.
vegetables, like a waxy coating. That's appeal. Now they have, I don't know, don't quote me on this. They have in the process or approved that be put on organically food, even in this the certified organic food.
Hmm.
But you can wash that off using baking soda.
Hmm.
Baking soda is have so many
Can
benefits
break
to
it down.
clean it and break that stuff down, and get it off on the outside surfaces. And so, like I said, first of all, pray over all of your food, no
Hmm.
matter where it comes from.
Hmm.
If it's possible, grow some food, grow some vegetables.
Most
There are
definitely.
people out there that's able. If you're not able, just do the best that you can do. You always, God said, in all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your path. So you ask Him for ideals.
Most
After the
definitely.
Holy Spirit asks you for ideals on, things on how to eat. And that's what Coach and I are here for, to bring those awareness, raise those awareness, and give you this information so you're able to put these things in practice and do it yourself, and kind of cut that light on and say, wow, that's what these numbers are for. Is
Right.
how, it's where they came from, is how they was grown, and how much and what chemicals was placed in the ground when they actually was seeded. All
That's
right,
good.
planted.
That's good information to know. Like we are talking about the processed food, ultra processed food, they just lack nutritional value. It's all for taste. It's all for taste. Fats, they digest slowly and they don't provide our body with a steady source of energy. Now, fats are important. You got fats that are important, but that has to be managed. But they do digest slowly and they don't provide your body with that steady source of energy that it needs if you're not getting the right fats. Sugary foods, they create fluctuation in your blood sugar levels, causing us to feel tired after eating and things of that nature. So, and a lot of processed food are packed with this stuff. Good nutrition provides the raw materials that our body needs. A healthy, nutritious diet that gives our bodies all the raw materials it needs to function properly. And that's what you want. You want your body to function properly. You may not be out there doing, like physical activity, but just functioning on your job, being alert, being have the energy you need to make it throughout that 8, 9, 10, 12 hour day, whatever it is.
I can't think of it. Is it mine or is it Memorex? And so I said,
Is it
well,
live or
yeah, is it
Memorex?
live or is it Memorex? I don't know if y'all remember that, but I said yesterday, is it AI? Is it live? Is it real or is it AI? So y'all got to be very careful
Yeah,
on what's real out there
most
and
definitely.
what's because to more and more it's looking real.
Hmm.
It's looking real out there. So yes,
Yeah,
it's
you
looking
do have to,
real, but you got
right?
to know what you're looking at. So
Right.
they've been talking about how
You got to
to,
fact check stuff these days.
and you got to make sure
Let's
you.
take a pause, Jack, and out there and just recognize our sponsors.
Oh, okay,
We have the halfway point of our show.
okay, guys. So we're gonna be back.
We ain't going nowhere. We're
We're gonna
just going to
we're gonna
identify our
take a
sponsors.
break, and we're gonna identify our sponsors here on the show. So just hang on there. We'll be right back.
All right, guys, listen, we want to acknowledge our sponsors, our partners, and friends right here at the halfway point of our show. Aiken Chiropractic, Dr. Dan, when your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest, here in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803 641 9191. Their website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. And nobody turned down Mr. Keith Richardson. If you want to get a free Medicare checkup and make sure you're in the right Medicare plan, give Keith a call at 803-281-6600. His website is www.nobodyturneddown.com. And CenterWell, Center Primary Care, they're helping seniors live healthier and happy lives. They're located at 3435 Riceboro Road in Augusta, Georgia. Their number is 706-841-9719. And their website is www.centerwell.com. And finally, Graham's Vehicle Detailing, affordable mobile detailing with professional results every time. Their number is 706-830-4982. And their website is www.grahamsgvd.com. All right, Jackie.
All right, guys, those are sponsors. We want to thank God and grateful for them.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
thank you, thank you. But guys, yes, we've been talking about good nutrition matters because guys, you matter, and that's what Coach and I do. That's our mantle. That's what God has given us to
Bring awareness.
bring awareness to practical wisdom. And just confirming.
Because when you know better, you tend to do better.
Yes, absolutely. When you're more aware of it, now you're aware of it. Now you can choose to do better, or
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But like I said, we left off talking about what's real and what's what's not real. We're talking about back in the old day when we say, is it real or is it live or is it Memorex? I think we was talking about the cassette. Now we got to say, is it live? Is it real or is it AI? So we got to be very careful of what we're seeing and know what we're seeing and what's AI and what's not. And it's hard to identify, So there are some things that out there to help you recognize what's real and what's not real.
Most
so
definitely.
just educate yourself, and do that. But good nutrition matter, and it does matter because our body has to have the nutrients, the energy, the substance, and the things that we need to
Right.
survive. This body has to survive.
Right.
So God given us things in this earth to help sustain this body.
Yeah, you say God's given us things. When he had Adam and Eve, he placed them in the garden, and he had everything there that they needed, to grow, and that they can eat just right from the ground. So, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but then there are things like vitamins and minerals that are good for us too. Those things help boost our immune system and help everything, do their job properly within our bodies. The nutrition that we get from a balanced, healthy eating, it affects the components of our immune system. It affects our nervous system, our hormones, our organs, and keeping our body working at its full potential. Sometimes you may need supplements, like Jackie said, to work with the foods that you're eating.
Absolutely, making sure you know where you're getting it from and it's the source of where it's coming from, because you have to know the industry. Health and wellness is a trillion dollar industry.
Yes, it is.
Multiple. And so they're gonna do what they're gonna do to make their money. And so it's a multi-level marketing industry. It is. You know, everybody has all the right stuff and all the right things, but you got to be very careful on where
Right.
things are coming from. You know, they've been tested by third parties, and because really they don't have to tell you what's in there. What they saying in there may not be in there after going tested. You know, consumer lab have they are kind of the police of supplements, and so they go in and they test these things, and what these consumers, these people say who sell these products, that stuff is not in there. They say it is in there, but it's not in there.
Right.
And by law they
Right.
really don't have to do it.
Right. The rule of
Yeah.
thumb is just do your research. You know, when it comes to putting things
Right.
in your mouth or in your body or injecting yourself or whatever it may be, you know, these things are all options that are out there. Some people may need them
Right.
because of underlying conditions that they may have, which is all fine and dandy. But, you know, you do your research so that, you know, that's the biggest thing that Jackie and I, our mantle, our mission is to just make sure you're aware, you know, of what's out there. And if you decide to do supplements or you decide to inject or you decide to do these things, then that's your decision.
Yeah.
But just be well aware of the decision that you're making, you know, count the costs and things of that nature. So do your research. And like I say, some of those things are great options to have for people that have
It may work
underlying
for
conditions.
some
Right.
people.
And it's based on the individual.
And
But
just
we're
consult
going to,
with your
yeah,
healthcare professional, making sure
yeah,
your blood ranges are in good a good place.
most
So
of keep
you want to
moving
make
on.
sure you're doing that. So
Good, move on.
use wisdom.
So good nutrition adds all of your body's functions now and in the future. It's amazing, you know, to think of how nutrition impacts everyday aspects of how our bodies work. Uh, there's things that's found in apples called quercetin, which is helps you is an antihistamine and is an anti-inflammatory. Then you have the resveratrol, which is found in grapes, so that's a powerful antioxidant. So basically, just like Jackie said, you know, in whole foods there are things that's built in there that's, you know, created by God that is built to help our body. You know, we just have to do those things and eat those things on a continuous basis. And we have to change the way our eating is. We have to change our relationship with food sometimes,
Yes,
especially
yeah.
if we know we're taking in a lot of processed and ultra processed foods, you know. And you can't just worry about calories these days. You have to worry about the chemicals that
Right.
are in food and what are the long term effects, you know, of those chemicals. And we said these days, although you think that you may be eating well, you know, if it's not being grown right or if it has some type of process in it, you don't know what that is. So the best thing to
Right.
do is to try to, you know, grow your own food and eat as local, uh, you know, support your farmers. So you're doing two things there. You're supporting your local farmer, you know, for them to make their living, and also you're getting a better grade of food uh,
Yes.
when you shop local.
Yes. And pay attention to your body. It speaks to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just need to listen to it, and it'll tell you what you need. Just
Most
like it
definitely.
tell you when you need water. You know, so we don't have to overeat. Some of us are overeating. You know, we don't need as much as we think we do. And even as we age in different stages in our lives, our nutrition matters. It
Mm-hmm.
matters anyway, but it matters even more
Most definitely.
as we age because things change hormonally. It changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we got to make some transition and change some things in our
Most definitely.
diet, you know, and how much and when and how we prep our food, how we cook our food, and how often we eat our food. And so, because there are certain things in our body that changes, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just like
Especially
women.
as you age. Yeah.
Yeah, just like women, you know, with estrogen, you know, it kind of fluctuates, it goes away. And so that's kind of that woman's protected hormone
Mm-hmm.
that protected us during the time of our childbirth, you know, bearing and all those different things. And once we lose that in progesterone, guess what? You know, now our body doesn't have that protected hormone. So
Mm-hmm.
now we got to change up the way we're eating
Right.
and, you know, prepare ourselves for that menopause. And that's another subject for another
Oh yeah.
day.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, as we age, our diet has to change. We just can't eat the way we used to eat.
Right.
And like I said, some of us we're just eating too much. We think
Mm-hmm.
we need 3 meals a day. Necessarily not need 3 meals a day, really. So you know who came up with that? Where did
Right.
that come from? You know, But eating when you're hungry, mindful eating, pay attention to your hunger cues and your full cues, in between snacking, that can get us in trouble. Just snacking while we're screen timing or when we're driving in the car or when we're watching TV and we're not careful, we didn't eat a full meal through snacking
Wow.
and drinking sugary drinks, and we're not being mindful. And then we wonder why the high blood pressure is there or high cholesterol is there, because we are not paying attention to the little things, the little small foxes that we should be paying attention to.
Most definitely. Proper nutrition is essential, for achieving an optimal state of health and wellness, along with adequate physical activity. Those things work together, and not just, nutrition and physical activity, but rest, stress management. Your mental health is very important. Sometimes if your mental health, if you're stressed out all the time, you can't even get past those barriers to do the other part of your physical health. Pay attention to your nutrition and things of that nature, because that could be some emotional eating that comes in with that. And all of those things can sabotage your journey to wellness. So just be mindful of those things that could happen.
And you said emotional eating, Coach, and you're absolutely right. When we stress, sometimes food is a coping mechanism,
right,
to what's whatever we're going through, or for comfort. And so we have to kind of change that. Like I said, switching out bad habits to more healthier habits, more small, healthier choices. That's easy said than done. It really is. That's a process for everyone. Everybody look at other people and say, oh, they should do that. Why they eating it? They shouldn't be. Yes. And I agree to that to some point, but sometimes we don't know what people are going through.
Right.
Because some people, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be, a number of things that serve as a coping mechanism,
right.
And sometimes food is one. Body, low self-esteem, negative body image, trying to maintain a certain image or look.
And all that punch towards your mental health.
That's the mental health part there.
Right.
Oh, we got a caller. Awesome. All right. Caller, you on the air. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, hey, how you doing, Reverend Ralph?
Hey, Reverend.
Good. You be safe on that road now. Dothan, Alabama, you down there in our area.
And sugar is not good when you're trying to lose weight.
That's the truth. Sugar is a big culprit because it raises those insulin levels, and if you're already insulin resistant, that can be a big barrier for weight loss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to throw that comment in there. Y'all have a good day.
Oh, you have a good day and traveling grace.
All right.
All right. And he absolutely right. We really have to watch the added sugars in our diets because of the different chemicals and ingredients that are in there. Some are in there to keep y'all got to remember this is $1 trillion industry. So they put this stuff in here so you can be able to keep wanting it. It throws off your full cues. So that part of the brain that tell you that's enough, don't eat anymore, because your body talks to you. Guess what? Because your gut has a brain and it communicates with your brain.
Right.
Both of them are communicating. Right. And so when you know how your body works and you know how it functions, because we're fearfully and wonderfully made. So we have to be very careful, of the amount, because we, like you said, insulin resistant. And we can very well be insulin resistant without having type diabetes. Right. We can. So especially when women, we go through menopause, that affects our insulin. So we get the craving more, wanting more sugar. Like you say, he get nervous, he want more sugar.
Yeah, because it makes you feel good.
Yes, temporarily, but it's doing long-term damage. Go ahead.
Let me say this about sugar, because sugar is one of the main culprits of us, not being able to lose weight and wondering why we can't get to that fat burning level. And that's one good thing about, we talked about it, I think last month, we talked about fasting and intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is awesome because it really allows your body to take that control back and not so much focus on the digestive process, because your body works hard to digest what you eat. And then it has to get past that insulin level and for it to really start burning the fat. But because we put this so much sugar in, and it may not be sugary pastry, it may be just carbs. It could be bread because we know carbs turn
Well,
into
all of it
sugar.
break down
Yeah, it breaks
into
down into
sugar.
sugar,
Sugar begets
glucose.
sugar begets sugar.
Right. So we have to be mindful of that and know that if we intermittent fast, I say intermittent fast because it's a thing that God gave us to allow our bodies to kind of reset. You think about it, your computers get overloaded sometimes, and sometimes you just have to reset them for to make them work right.
Yes.
And sometimes, and I think that's what intermittent fasting does for us. It allows us to reset our body and our body to focus on the main thing of repairing our body, repairing our cells.
Allowing the digestive system to rest.
Right. So it's not constantly working to just digesting food, pumping the meat, breaking the meat down there because we eat meat all the time, or breaking the sugars down because we eat all of that all the time, and trying to get past all of that so we can really get to that internal fat so we can start burning that and that we can start seeing results. So yeah, sugar is a big culprit. I thank him for bringing that up. But,
and even with parasites, parasites that get left in our body, fasting is good for that, to rid our body of parasite, because parasite also increases the craving of sugar. Mm-hmm. And so just fasting, that
fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes, that
body is awesome.
What's that word?
Autophagy.
Look it up. And it talks about
autophagy. I'm sorry. Autophagy.
Autophagy. And look it up. And it's, so nobody say, oh, you can't eat no shit. No, it's not fat. It's what you're doing consistently. Mm-hmm. But don't get upset when someone else saying, hey, I just can't do it, because they know their body. Right. And they know if they just set it off, don't wake up. And so we talk about the genes and the epigenes. Of course, we have genes that we inherit from either one or both of our parents. Mm-hmm. That's life. Mm-hmm. Okay. But we have you got genetics, then you got epigenetics. Epigenetic is lifestyles. It's things that we do. Right. So, but if you know you're prone to something because of the genetic of your mom, dad, you don't want to wake those genes up. Right. Keep them down. So I don't practice these same behaviors, these same habits. Right. So I know I can't have that.
You have to work a little harder.
Yeah. Or when you carry more adipose tissue, which is fat tissue around the midsection, which is what? Around your abdomens and your organs.
Internal organs.
You gotta even watch it even more. So you gotta know how you are built. You gotta know how your body distributes fat, how it receives it, how it distributes it out. Right. And as we get older, it do it less.
Right,
that's why.
Hormones change.
Because the hormones change. We're not the 20-year-olds, so we can't make a 50, 60-year-old body function like a 20-year-old body and 30-year-old body like we used to. So we ignored those symptoms of mm-hmm. things, when we was younger. But now as we get older, we're like, wow, well, that's why we start practicing these things early in life. Enjoy life, enjoy eating without rules and restriction. But there is some things that we have to be very mindful of. It's what we're doing more consistent. Your body going to crave what you give it more consistent of.
That's right.
And so that's why you have to
retrain it.
Yeah.
You got
I say kill the flesh. I said kill the flesh.
Not only retrain it, but
you got to starve that. If I said starve the flesh, you got to starve it sometime.
And not only retrain it, but you got to take the control back. That's one of the fruits of the spirit is self-control.
Yes.
And we have to practice that self-control, in the even in our health and wellness.
Right.
So your flesh, like Jackie said, it's gonna want what it's want. And that's the hardest part, is our nutrition, is our eating, because we've been doing it a certain way all our life. So now your flesh has gotten used to that. Just like a baby on milk. When you're trying to wean a baby off of milk and get them to eat more food, they want that milk. The flesh is the same way. So you just have to stay in the process and know that if I stay in this process long enough, I'm going to regain that. I'm going to take that control back. And then if I want to eat a cookie here and there, I'll be able to control that without eating a cookie, eating another cookie, eating another cookie.
Eating the
You
whole
know,
bag.
you'll be back in control where if I want to enjoy a cookie, I'll enjoy a cookie. And that's it. That's all you get in flesh. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to talk to the flesh like that.
And just like I said, sometimes you just have to just say no.
Right.
And because I know it's gonna wake up that sugar craving.
Most
And that's all about knowing you, knowing your body. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you know you have discipline and self control where you know you're gonna eat a cookie, but when you bring those those Girl Scout cookies in the house and you get in autopilot and get stressed, guess what's gonna happen? You go and get no cookie. You're gonna, I don't care how deep in that freezer you have them, you're gonna go for it. So that's why I said out of sight, out of mind. Don't bring the temptation in there. Make it a point if you want that to go out, because if it's not there, it forces you to do something else. It forces you to make another choice or better choice if it's not directly in the house. So we got children. Well, that's, hey, fruits and have them accessible.
Start teaching
fruits
them
and
healthier.
Yes, and
choices.
tell them, have some snacks and just say, okay, these are our snacks for the month. We don't have to have all the chips and all the cookies, just pantries and pantries of stuff. I know that's what we used to do, but kind of have kids that partner with you and say, okay, we're going to have a few snacks for
and you're building healthier habits.
And you're teaching them how to build healthier habits, because they're not going to always be young. And like I say, now they're finding out kids that are younger, between the age 18 and 40, developing colorectal cancer. Because, they're not drinking water, they're drinking a lot of Starbucks drink without, a lot of drinks, sugary drinks or gourmet coffee, and not knowing how
not necessarily Starbucks drinks, but drinks, coffee, a lot of
it's not just
sweet coffees and stuff like that.
Not all of them that all the places that sell gourmet coffees. Like, there's nothing wrong with having them, but just
sugar.
Be more mindful of all the sugar content,
the drinks
that is in there,
when
what you're consuming.
Eat,
and they're
soda,
not mindful of that because they're young. And they think, okay, I'm in this, nothing ain't gonna happen to me. Y'all just talking, but no, those things really affect us, because food is different today than what it was. Okay.
So we're gonna get ready to wrap things up. But we can be overfed yet undernourished. Just understand that we can be overfed but yet undernourished based on what we are eating, not how much we are eating. Like Jackie said, who said we had to eat 3 times a day and snacks in between each meal? Where did that come from? Well, it came from the people that made the breakfast. So just be mindful of those things. Do your research, and that's as far as I'll go on that. Most processed foods have been stripped of nutritional value with added flavorings, and a lot of times when you see that on your label, added flavorings or something like that, it don't tell you exactly what those added flavorings are.
It's camouflage for chemicals.
Yeah, so it's there, then chemicals, because for the longer shelf life, it's got to have it. These food may be quicker and cheaper to eat, but when most of the food you are eating, and I'll say it again, most of the food you are eating contain very little nutritional value, your body is left feeling unsatisfied and out of whack. And that's when your body is going to do what is necessary to do to survive. And give you the energy it need to do what it do. And after a while, that's going to get old. And that's when your body's going to start, getting out of whack. But real quick, before we get off the air, we're going to just talk about some reasons why good nutrition really does matter. Just some quick tips out there. It boosts immunity. So it protects you from illnesses and other health problems. It improves your health, quality of life, disease, and disease outcomes. It fights against heart disease. It fights against diabetes and other health conditions. It also improves your concentration, your brain health. It is said that fish is rich in omega-3 fats, which is linked to brain health. Blueberries, avocados, nuts, seeds, dark chocolate, those things also are linked to improve brain health as well.
Okay. And so weight control, reduce risk of certain type of diseases, and longevity. So there's a part that we have to play naturally, guys. But overall, we got to trust God with our health.
Mm-hmm.
We have to trust God with our health because what? Our health matter, you matter. Good nutrition does matter, you
Most
know.
definitely.
So we hope we helped you guys today. We hope you take some of this information. Go back on our page, Get Fit with Jackie Fitness, or YouTube, and look at our YouTube channel and look at this over and go back to the previous broadcasts that we had done on fasting and all the other things. We have Dr. Dan is breaking it down from a medical perspective, you know, breaking things down. So go back and look at that.
Right. Those channels are on Facebook at Get Fit with Jackie Fitness, and on YouTube, Health Matters Jackie and Coach. Again, Facebook, Get Fit with Jackie Fitness, YouTube, Health Matters with Jackie and Coach. If you haven't liked and subscribed to those channels, go ahead and do that right now so that you can go back and look at any program or broadcast that you want to look at. Listen, we thank you for listening to us on this morning. We want you to stay tuned for the Concerned Ministers Fellowship. Pastor Bush is coming up right after us. Saturdays with Sean is coming up after Pastor Bush and Concerned Ministers Fellowship at 10 a.m. Midday Motivations with Alicia G at 11 a.m. and Tony D this evening with the New Artist Profile. Our weekly broadcast, Pastor Small, Morning Praise Devotion at 10 a.m. Community Matters Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. with Mary Harris. 12 p.m. with Mary Harris. Minister Arlene Edwards is talking it up, 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Reginald Forrest Education Matters on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Pastor O'Neill Thursdays, the Transforming Lives at 11 a.m. And then Pastor Small and Sister Gwen Small is back with us with Community Matters Fridays at 11 a.m.
And guys, we'd like to always thank you for listening to Help Matters here on Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth. Remember, we are here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We always like to leave you with 3 John 2. We wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, remember, always show an act of kindness, because you never know when that act of kindness may be extended back to you. Remember, you matter. Your help matter. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time here on Help Matters.
All right, Facebook, YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in with us today.